Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to today's webinar, Ace Your MUET Guide and Tips. I'm Dr. Zahurin Shamsuddin from the Training Development Center, Institute of Teacher Education, Ministry of Education Malaysia, your moderator for today's webinar. Before we proceed, I would like to inform that the attendance link will be posted at the end of the webinar right after the Q&A session. Now, we are pleased to have with us today Dr. Yee Bee Choo from IPG Campus Tun Hussein on as our speaker. Dr. Yee, who has more than 25 years of teaching English language to primary and secondary school students as well as pre-service teachers, was an examiner for SPM and PMR when she was a secondary school teacher. Dr. Yee obtained her doctorate studies in teaching English as a second language or TESOL from University Technology Malaysia, and she is actively involved as a teacher trainer in conducting continuous professional development, CPD courses such as CEFR and Pro-ELT Enhanced for in-service teachers. She is also active in writing books, namely literature component in English and Form 5 English books for secondary schools. Besides, she is the chief editor for the book Voices of Ito, a collection of poems written by the lecturers, school teachers, and pre-service teachers. As a scholar, she also wrote and published more than 20 research articles in Scopus and peer-reviewed journals. Her areas of research include English language teaching and learning, teacher education, literature, and action research. Without further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Yee to share ideas and knowledge on how to ace MUET. Over to you, Dr. Yee.
Thank you, Dr. Zahurin, the moderator of the webinar for today. A good day to everyone. I'm very grateful to be here to share my knowledge and experience of this MUET with everyone. Before I start, allow me to share my screen first. Okay, can you see my screen, Dr. Zahurin?
Yes, very clear, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I start, actually, I would like to conduct a small survey before the talk. I just would like to know if you all have taken the MUET exam before, and also I would like to know the result that you have obtained for the MUET. I'm sure that most of us who are here are interested to know how to do well in the MUET. And those of us who are here are the university students, IPG teacher trainees, or even IPG lecturers who are actually should take this MUET test as a way to know your language proficiency. Okay, so this is just a simple survey so that I could know that how this MUET has actually influenced everybody's life. Okay, that we all work for it so that we can know our best in the English language skills. Okay. This here I would like to share a kind of format. Okay, in the past, we know that MUET has changed the format in the year 2021. It has changed the format. Before this, it was focused a lot on the reading and writing skills. As we know that reading, the scores for the reading was 120 and the scores for writing was 90. And it was hard for our students to obtain high level even to the band 6. So this is one of my best students in the year 2017 who scored band 6. And we know that it is not easy to score band 6 when it was in the old format. Okay, because the focus is focus a lot on the reading and the writing skills. And then as we know that for English teachers, we also are required to know our CEFR level. So some teachers also sit for the test for MUET, and some teachers actually, I think in the year 2020, they set for the test. Yeah, this is the one for 2020. They set for the test for CEFR readiness. So in this CEFR readiness, the focus also followed the format, also followed the format of MUET. It also focused on reading and writing, which is reading 120 marks and then writing is 90 marks. So in the past, our MUET and the CEFR readiness test has been focused a lot on the reading and writing test. But we know that to boost up our level, according to the CEFR, as teachers or as IBG teacher trainee, we should become a proficient user. We need to become an expert. So we have to obtain C1, which is equivalent for an English language teachers or for a teacher trainee of the TESOL option. That's why we try our best and try very hard to obtain the score until the C1 level. Okay, so that we are called the proficient user, because we are supposed to use it in a proficient way. And so there is a change since in the past the exam has been focused too much on the reading and writing skill. So there is a change in the year 2021. Now that we see that all the skills are given the equivalent marks or scores, and instead of focusing too much on the reading and writing, now all are given an equal focus, whether it is listening, speaking, reading, or writing, or 90 marks. Now, as we can see here, it is 90 marks now for each skill. So it will be a balanced way of testing our level in the 4 English language skills. In the past, if we are good in reading and writing, so we can score, but then it will not actually we will not actually know our level in an equal or balanced way, because if we are good in reading and writing, then we can score. But now we know that if we are good in all to get C1, we need to be good in all the 4 language skills, not just on the reading and writing. So when the teachers train the students for the MUET exam, the teacher also need to train the students for the 4 language skills. In the past, they may teach more. They will teach more on the reading and writing, and listening and speaking. Usually, the teacher may neglect it because it has a small proportion in the exam. But now, because all the 4 language skills are in a balanced, equivalent score, so teachers have to teach all the 4 skills to the students, so that the students can be well versed in all the 4 language skills. Okay, so this is the change that we have seen for the MUET test score. In the old format, the total marks was 300, but now it is 360, because all are in an equivalent mark, which is 90 score for each skill. So all are in a equivalent percentage of 25% for each skill. And now as an English language teacher or educator, and also as an IBG TESOL trainee, we know that we are required to achieve C1. C1 level will be equivalent to the band 5 in the MUET test. So that means according to the new format, there is we need to get more than 294 scores in order to get the band 5. Okay, now we do not call band 6, but in the new format we have 5 plus. Actually 5 plus is also the band 6. but now they don't call it band 6 but 5 plus. Okay, so these are the scores that we are aiming the score band 5 and also band 5 plus. And as I mentioned earlier, to get band 5 or band 5 plus, which means we are proficient user. Okay, proficient user. It is C1 and C1 plus. Okay, according to our new MUET format. And these are the global scale. Okay, in order to become a proficient user, we need to know what is the global scale we need to achieve. So here says that can understand a wide range of demanding longer text and recognize implicit meaning, can express him or herself fluently and spontaneously without much obvious searching for expression. This is for speaking. The first sentence is for listening. The second sentence is for speaking. And the third sentence for reading can use language flexibly and effectively for social, academic, and professional purposes. And the last sentence is for writing skill, can produce clear, well-structured, detailed text on complex subjects, showing control use of organizational patterns, connectors, and cohesive devices. So it's for the 4 language skills. So we need to align the score according to the CFR global scale, so that we are a proficient user. Okay, so today I'll be sharing on the tips for the 4 language skills. Okay, so I'll begin with listening. Before that, I would like to mention that actually I have been given a lot of CBD course on this CEFR course of the 4 skill, but usually my focus is on writing skill. Okay, because when we did CPD in my college, there are 4 of the English language lecturers in IPG Kampus Tun Hussein on. So each of us would teach 1 skill. So my focus is more on the writing, and the other 3 skills, usually my colleagues will give that CPD to the participants. But so today, my focus will be mostly on the writing skill. Other skill, I'll just share the tips, how we can do well in the skills. Okay, the first skill is on listening. Okay, according to the MUET new format, the primary purpose of the MUET listening test is to assess the ability of test takers to understand spoken discourse in the higher education context, covering both monologues and dialogues. So this is the format, okay, when we compare the 2 formats. Okay, since the marks has been increased, so the time, the duration has also increased for the new format, and the number of texts also increased. Okay, number of questions also from 20 to 30. But for the listening skill now, it's mostly MCQs. In the past, they have short answer question and information transfers, but now all are in MCQs. And these are the possible text types. For the new format, we have dialogues and the monologues. Okay, so these are the text types, and the CFR level is from A2 to C1. That is what we want to achieve. In the past, it may be in the MUET in the past might be difficult because some of the tasks is difficult. So it sometimes goes too high until C1 plus level, and it is hard for our students to do well. But since it has to align with the CFR level, so the even though it has to go down to C1, because it is not only for English language. The test is not only for English language teachers and IPG testers students, but it also for university students. And we are not expecting university students to get C1 plus or C1, their requirement is only to B2 level, band 2, band B2, or the band B. Okay, band B, CFR B2, sorry, B2, but band 3 or band 5, band 4, okay, band 3 or band 5, or the CFR is B2. So it is so the test is more according aligned with the CFR, so that it is suitable for all test takers. Okay, so the tips to ace our listening. So we need to read all the question and answer options provided in the test booklet before listening to the recording. Usually times will be given. Okay, I can't remember, is it 5 minutes or 10 minutes before it starts? Okay, so when we are given the time, so try to read all the question and the options, okay, in the test booklet. And underline, when we read, also underline or highlight the keywords in each question, so that when the recording is played, we can focus on what to listen. And also identify the main topic of the listening text you are about to listen, and listen to the recording carefully. Okay, so this is the tips for listening. Okay, now we come to speaking. Okay, as for speaking, the aims is to assess the ability of test takers to give an oral presentation of ideas individually, and to interact in small groups in both formal and less formal academic contexts. So speaking is still the same. Okay, they have two parts. Okay, two parts. In that, task A is for individual, task B is group. So it's still the same. Okay, for speaking there is no change, only the mark, the score, okay, has been increased from 15% to 25%. And also the time a little bit or increase, but then what is the obvious change is the weighting of the test for speaking. So but the format, the number of the tasks are still the same. Okay, so when we want to do the first part, that is the individual presentation, usually a question with four, they'll be given a question, and then the four usually four candidate, 3 or 4 candidates in one group, so each one will get their own task. Okay, task 1, task 2, task 3, and task 4, each candidate. So they will first talk about their own task in an individual presentation, and then in task B they will be in a group discussing their individual presentation, and also discussing the other candidates' points, and then they will come out or agree to agree for the best idea or the best option from the four different points. Okay, so for the individual presentation, before we present, understand the task and underline the keywords. Okay, again, the task will be given to us, will be given a few minutes to study the question, the task. So we must understand the task and underline the keywords. Brainstorms for at least 3 main ideas. Organize and elaborate your points and give examples. Okay, try to have 3 main ideas when we want to present our point. Okay, the point for our task, so that we can do elaboration. Okay, we can do elaboration, and later when during the group discussion also we can still talk about our own points. Okay, and we must organize it in a logical way, so that the other candidates can accept our points and also give the examples. And while presenting, greet the examiner and other candidates. Present the 3 points with elaboration and examples. Use linkers and expression to ensure a smooth flow. It's good to use linkers, okay, in speaking, cohesive linkers. For example, firstly, when we are talking, giving our points, we can say group work is good because of these three reasons. Okay, firstly, group work is good for what? Secondly, group work is good for what? And finally, so because sometimes the examiner, they when we are talking, they also jot down the notes, what we are, the points that we are speaking. So when we are using the linkers, actually we are letting the examiner to catch our points. So when we say firstly, then they'll focus, they'll know, okay, now the candidate first point is what, so they can write down. Okay, it's good we use some linkers so that this can help the examiners to know that we are giving the 3 point, what are the 3 points that we are giving. Okay, and then we need to deliver our points confidently. Okay, since we I know that not everyone is very brave or very good in speaking. Sometimes we are nervous, but and also because of the time constraint, sometimes we are giving about 10 minutes or 5 minutes to talk. Okay, so we don't really have time for rehearsal. Okay, like in the classroom, maybe when we are asked to do public speaking, we have 1 day or 2 days earlier to practice our public speaking. But for this speaking test, we only receive the question on the spot, and sometimes it's very hard for us. If we are blank, we go blank. We don't know what to say. So try to do a lot of reading and also try to do a lot of speaking in the class with your friends. Don't be afraid to speak. Okay, because if you always speak in your mother tongue, okay, sometimes I find that my own teacher trainee, the test trainee, they also speak their own mother tongues. They will not be able to express their ideas confidently because they do not use English very often. So try to speak English more often so that you can deliver your points more confidently. Okay, because you always use English words, so the words will come to your mouth easily. Okay, if you don't use English very often, then sometimes you will find it very hard to use. You cannot think of the better words. You cannot use a good sentence structure to speak. So try to speak English more often so that you can be confident. And also avoid reading as you speak. Okay, because you are writing the part. So when we write, we are given paper and pencil, okay, usually to write our points, okay, before we start our presentation. So when we write, when we prepare the points, so don't write in full sentence, because when we write in full sentence, we tend to read. So we just write the points, okay, write the points and deliver the points using our own words. Okay, that would be better because it is from we are using our own words. If we are writing in the full sentence, we tend to read, okay, and then when we read, we will not be able to maintain eye contact with the other candidates and also the examiner. Okay, so avoid writing the whole sentence when during your preparation. Okay, and then conclude by summarizing your 3 points. Okay, it's just like writing. You need to have introduction, body, and conclusion. So in the conclusion, we restate, okay, or summarize our 3 points, and then we thank the examiner at the end. It's up to us if we want to thank or not. I think it depends on the time that we have during after our speech. Okay, and then when the other candidates are presenting, we also listen. We need to listen carefully and also take down notes so that during the group presentation or group discussion, we can talk about the points. We can agree or disagree with their points as long as they are logical. Okay, of course, before we can agree or disagree, we need to know what are their points. So we need to listen and write down their points. Okay, this is for the individual presentation. When it comes to the group discussion, that is due in task B. So before we present, of course, we are given a few minutes of time to organize our points. Okay, after we give our own points, our own presentation, and listen to the others presentation, so we can go through the points. And then we can decide if we want to continue supporting the same option which we have presented in task A, or alternatively choose any of the three options or suggestion presented by the other candidates, because usually in one group there are 4 people, so each people will have their own option or suggestion. So we can agree or disagree, as I said, okay? And then we can be ready with our justification, reason, elaboration, and examples. Okay, so this is before that. And then while presenting, so if we are the first speaker, so we might want to introduce, okay, if we are the first speaker or first candidate, okay, if we are second or third and fourth, we just follow the flow, okay? So we cooperate with others to ensure a smooth discussion. Okay, when usually we go by turn, okay, from first candidate, even though it's a group discussion, it still go by turn from first speaker, second, third, and fourth. So we follow we cooperate with one another, and also we can question, okay, one another to make the group discussion lively, because sometimes maybe one of the candidate could not speak much. Okay, we might if we might ask question to help them to give more points or explain to us further about their points. And also try to maintain eye contact. Okay, that is one very important way to show our confidence. Speak clearly and with confidence, and do not dominate. Okay, during the discussion, avoid domination, and do not allow others to dominate the conversation. Use your turn-taking skills. Okay, so don't try to talk too much thinking that the more I talk, the more marks I will get. It won't. Okay, because we need to have turn-taking skill, because this is a discussion. Okay, group discussion. So it doesn't mean the more we talk, the more marks we will get. It doesn't, because we need to show we have the turn-taking skill, okay? And also be courteous and use appropriate expression. Don't some people, when they are they think they are very good in speaking, so they keep on talking, so they become when they dominate the discussion, they become they will use inappropriate expression that can cause others to feel irritating or feel uncomfortable. So we should avoid that. And at the end of the discussion, come to a consensus with your group member to agree on one option. Okay, if you are the last candidate, okay, it depends. Okay, it depends during the discussion. The 4 people usually they will each one will discuss. They can still keep on their own point. Okay, my suggestion, my option A is the best, so I can still keep on talking my option A is the best, and the candidate B will keep on talking about option B, option C, and option D. And but at the end, the 4 of them need to come to a consensus. Which option is the best, A, B, C, or D? Okay, they need to come to a consensus. And the last person to make the decision is actually depends on how the discussion goes on. Sometimes it can be the last person, sometimes it can go back to the first person, okay, or the one who can make when it's times up. Usually sometimes when they talk too much during the discussion, the examiner may tell, okay, please make your decision. So one of them need to make a decision, need to end the discussion by giving the best option. Okay, and so when the best option is already given, then that is the end of the discussion, and then they should thank the examiner at the end of the discussion. Okay, I would like to share, because last year I also went for the CEFR readiness test. So I sat for this speaking test. So the 4 of us, we are teachers. Okay, the 4, so we are there in the discussion. Okay, so one of the teachers, maybe he doesn't know that he has to make an option. He thought that all options are good. So he he is the second candidate. I'm the third, and then there's another person who is the fourth. So when it comes to the second candidate, he said that all options are good. Okay, all the four options are good. We should accept all the four options. So it actually does not answer the task, because the task is to make the best option, to decide on the best option. But this second candidate, he said that all options are good. So what I did was I remind him, Mr. So and so, we actually need to make the best option from this discussion. Okay, I believe all the four options are good, but for our discussion today, we need to make the best option. So which one do you think is the best? Then only he realized, okay, he has to stick to only one option. So that is how we try to help one another during the group discussion. Not to dominate, okay, not to dominate, thinking that the more I talk, the more the more marks I'll get. But then we need to help one another. Okay, that is how we do, because I'm sure during our informal discussion or informal dialogue with our friends, we will let everyone talk. Okay, we are not the only one who talk all the time. So that is how we do it during our speaking test. Okay. So that is for speaking. Now I'll move on to the reading. Okay, for the reading skill, the primary purpose is to assess the ability of test takers to understand reading text in the higher education context, covering both more formal and less formal test types. Okay, so it's on the ability to understand the reading text. Okay, so the format, let's see the format. Okay, in the past, we know that reading always has the highest score, is the focus skill in MUET. But since 2021, reading, the marks for reading has been brought down to 25%, and the time for it also has been reduced to 75 minutes, and the number of questions also reduced from 45 to 40 questions. And the question types are all MCQs. In the past, they were MCQ and the true, false, not stated. Usually people are very confused. The candidates, they are very confused. Is it true? Is it false or not stated? True, false, or not stated? Every time when it comes to this question, there is always a lot of argument. Okay, some say it's true, sometimes it says false, some say not stated. So, but now for the new format, this is not there anymore, so it's actually easier. Okay, it will not be confuse us. And the number of texts has increased from six texts to 7 texts, but actually they are shorter. Okay, and the level, okay, we can see that the level is from A2 to C1. Last time it was really high, the level. Okay, very difficult, because when I went for the test last year, the article, the reading article are actually journal articles. Okay, I found that for the test that I took, maybe before this is not, but for the test that I said last year, I found that the article, reading article, is difficult because it's taken from journal. Okay, journal article are usually articles read by those who wants to do their thesis, those who are studying master or PhD. So they read those articles. Okay, and it is quite hard to digest, and the time also very short. In 90 minutes, we had to read a few articles, difficult articles. So it's actually a very high level. Okay, but since the new format has made it easier for the candidates, so it's actually it would not be too high cognitive load for the candidates, because when it takes a lot of our cognitive to think about for the answer, is actually very difficult, and also we will feel very stressful when to come up with the best answer. Okay, even though it's MCQ, but all will look like the answer. It's not easy, so we have to do a few reading. Okay, not just once. If we have time, try to read 2 times, 3 times, so that we can really understand the text, what is the text trying to say, and able to answer the question. Okay, so what are the tips for reading? We need to read the text questions and underline the keywords. Okay, just like for listening, we need to underline, okay, the keywords. As we need to read 7 texts, so do not waste too much time on one question. Okay, since there are 40 questions, we have 75 minutes to answer. So each question is about, I think, 2 minutes. Okay, there is about 2 minutes for us, or 1.5 minutes for us to answer one question. So don't waste too much time on one question. If the question is too difficult to answer, we can skip first, go to the next question, and then later when we come back, then only we think, look back at the question, the difficult question. So don't waste too much time, okay, on one question. And make sure you don't just skim through the text, but scan for specific information. Okay, sometimes we need sometimes the answer needs some scanning, because they need for certain details or specific information. So we have to read carefully to look for the specific information. And okay, I'm not, I think I should delete this one. I forgot to delete, sorry. Okay, let's go to the next one. For some question, you will be asked to infer or make intelligent assumptions based on the given evidence in the text. Okay, so sometimes we need to read, to infer. Okay, to infer means we need to read beyond the text, read beyond the lines. So the answer is, we cannot get the answer directly from the text, so we have to infer. Okay, try to look at the context from the paragraph before and paragraph after the sentence, and try to infer, okay, what is the meaning. Okay, so that will be a high order thinking skill. And do not use your own opinions to answer, because what may be logical, what may seem logical to you, may not be academic correct. Okay, so we must follow what is correct in according to academic. Okay, because sometimes our opinion, we think, oh, this is correct, that is our own opinions. Okay, but the answer is, we must remember, we are not the person who construct the question. Okay, we are not the one who construct the question. Our own opinion say it is correct, but then we have to think in an academic way. Okay, if this is the academic text, so the answer should follow according to the text. Okay, academic way. Okay, so that is for reading. Okay, so now we come to the last skill, that is the writing skill, which I'm going to focus today for today's webinar, because in writing, there are 2 types of writing, which I will share how to write these 2 types of writing. One is an email, another is an extended writing. Okay, so this will be the focus of my talk for today. Okay, so in writing, the primary purpose is to assess the ability of test takers to communicate in writing in the context of higher education, covering both more formal and less formal writing genres. Okay, so why is writing difficult for you? Actually, I would like to hear what most people, when I did the CPD course for the teachers, most of them said writing is the most difficult skill in not only in MUET, but also in the English language skills. So why is it difficult? Actually, I would like to get your response by answering this question in Mentimeter. Okay, you can give your response and let us know why is writing difficult for us or for you personally. Okay, some people they can only write just one paragraph. they can't write more. Okay, they have no ideas to write, or they just can't write, or they may write, but then they feel that it's not good. Okay, maybe you can give your response by telling us why is writing difficult for you. Okay, actually, this is an open-ended response. Okay, it's here. I still have not anyone to answer yet. Okay, why is writing difficult for you? Maybe you can respond later. Okay, if you look at this YouTube video, okay, you can go back and scan and then and give your answer. But actually, I would like to know why do you think that this is difficult for you? Okay, we need to know the answer so that we can know how to solve this problem. Because it is, I'm sure that most people have this weakness in writing. Okay, even I myself, I wrote articles. I also wrote books, but sometimes I still can commit some errors, grammar errors, or some mistakes. It doesn't mean that I am a scholar. I'm very good in writing, but sometimes I can make mistakes. Okay, I'm sure that this is quite a common problem among the teachers and also among the IPG TESOL trainees about this writing skill. Okay, I will look at the response later. Okay, let's look at the format first, writing format. Okay, so the percentage or the weighting has gone down from 30% to 25%, and the time also has been reduced, okay, from 90 minutes to 75 minutes. What has changed is the report writing has changed to an email or letter writing. Okay, it's a guided writing. So the report writing has been changed. Last time when it was the report writing, it has made writing very difficult because the candidate has to write analysis and synthesis. I remember when I give the CPD course to the teachers, I have to tell them how to write analysis, how to write synthesis. Okay, to have analysis, you must have what element. Okay, you must mention about this element and that element. So there is a quite difficult. Okay, and it is very hard because when it comes to analysis and synthesis, the level is very high, C1 to C1 plus, which is actually, if the candidate know how to write analysis and synthesis, they C1 to C1 plus level. Okay, but now since we have to align it to CFR, so now we have made the task easier to from report writing to email or letter writing. So it can goes to A2 level and then to C1. Okay, and the length of responses, okay, the word limit, since it's only 75 minutes, so we cannot write a long text. So for email or letter writing is at least 500 words. For the extended writing, at least 250 words. Of course, we need to also bear in mind of your grammar, the grammar, and also the sentence structure, vocabulary that we use in the text. It doesn't mean we just write 250 words without errors. It means that we can get C1. Okay, sometimes it also depends on the content that you wrote in the essay, and also the sentence structure. All those are taken into consideration. Okay, and then the marks also for the question 1, which is the email or letter writing, is 30 marks, and question 2, the extended writing, that it is 60 marks. Okay, so let's look at the description of writing according to the aggregated scores. Okay, since most of us, we aim to get band 5, okay, because we are mostly English teachers, IPG lecturers, and TESOL trainees. our aims is to get band 5 and above. Okay, so we need to look at the description or writing that we need to achieve. Okay, so for band 5 can write clear, well structured and mostly accurate text on complex subjects. Okay, can highlight the relevant salient issues, expand and support points of view at some length with subsidiary points, reason and relevant examples, and complete the text with an appropriate conclusions. Okay, so that is for band 5. And for band 5 plus can write complex text clearly and smoothly with a high degree of accuracy and in an appropriate and effective style, can use structure in a logical and orderly manner which helps the reader to find significant points, can highlight the relevant salient issues, expand and support points of view at length with relevant points, reasons, and examples, and complete the text with appropriate conclusions. Okay, so for essay, we know that we must follow the structure of essay. We must have introduction, body, and conclusions. Okay, but when we write, we must bear in mind also we need to if we want to get a better band. Okay, 5 plus may be too high, so we look at band 5. Okay, so clear, well structured, accurate text on complex subjects. So our text should be accurate. So it should not be a lot of errors, grammar errors. Okay, because if we have a lot of errors, the band that will go down to band 4, band 3, or even band 2. Okay, so make sure we have good grammar or good language use when we do the writing. Also, we must give relevant issue, and we support we expand and support supporting details. Okay, so we do not just give the main ideas only. We need to give elaboration. Okay, the elaboration is important. It can give us more points or more marks. Okay, so these are the things that we need to take note. Okay, writing test overview. Okay, since I'm going to share with you the how to do well in writing. So we know that these are the two types of question. Question 1 is a guided writing, email or letter. Question 2 is a standard writing of essay. So the skills tested, this is according to the old format, but actually the new format, they also look for task fulfillment and also language and organization. Okay, so they still look for task fulfillment, whether do you answer according to the task, and also look at your language and organization, accuracy, appropriateness, coherence, cohesion, use of language function. So how it tested is still the same with the old format. Okay, so we'll look at the first one. Okay, writing an email. Okay, it at least 100 words, and the level that we want, the level for the stimulus, which is in the question booklet here, say should not exceed B1. But the responses given by the candidate can range from A2 to C1. Okay, because it's just an email. Sometimes the sentence is it can be short sentence. It doesn't mean every sentence must be long and complex sentence, because this is an email. Okay, and especially it is an informal email, so the sentence will even shorter. Okay, so it can be from A2 level to C1 level. Okay, and then for the language function that is used in the email, expressing thanks, apologies, reactions, preferences, accepting or declining, rejecting invitation or offers, making requests, giving precise information, describing experiences, feelings, and events, providing advice, reasons, opinions, and justifications. Okay, so this is the first task. Okay, sorry, excuse. The task may result in writing ranging from A2 to C1, as mentioned earlier. Okay, so let's look at this sample. Okay, sample given by actually our lembaga, and the sample in the new format, for the new format. Okay, so in task 1, you're advised to spend about 25 minutes on this task. Your classmate Aaron was absent from school because he was sick. Read the email from him asking about the school English camp which he missed. So use all the notes given. Write a reply of at least 100 words in an appropriate style. Okay, so this is the email. Okay, given for the stimulus given. Okay, dear Alex, hi, how was the school English camp? Everybody said I could not join the camp. I heard that there were lots of fun things to do at the camp. What was your favorite activity during the camp? I also heard Campus had to share tents. Did you like it? I heard too that the school is planning another camp soon and I want to join it. Would you like to join me? Right soon, Aaron. Okay, so for the email, this task, the notes are given. Okay, the notes are given. So what the candidates needs to do is to give the answer, or to answer the task according to these notes. Okay, like here, great. Okay, how was the school English camp? So here, great was given. So when the candidate answer, remember to use this word, great, okay, to answer this. And describe. So the second point is to describe. So here say about what was your activity during the camp. So you need to describe the activity, the favorite activity during the camp. Okay. And the third point is when it asks, did you like it? Then the answer given is no, because so since it is given no, so we should answer no. We cannot change to yes, okay, because we need to answer according to the task. Okay, so we cannot simply change. Okay, if it is given no, we need to answer no. If it is given yes, we answer yes. Okay, and then last point is on would you like to join me? So you need to tell Aaron if you want to join him for the another camp. Okay, so you need to remember when you write your email, reply the email, these 4 points should be given. Okay, remember to give these 4 points. Okay, answer these 4 points. You may write other things, but remember all these 4 points should be given, because this will be the content of your letter, and the points will be given, the marks will be given according to these points. So make sure you answer when you write an email, you follow, you give the answer according to the notes or the points that they ask you to answer. Okay, so how to write an email? Okay, this is the format. Usually we need to have the subject line. Okay, oh, I missed the English camp. This is from the same email just now. And then you need to have the salutation, dear Alex or dear somebody. Then the opening, okay, hi, how was the school English camp? I feel very sad that I could not join the camp. And the body, okay, the body paragraph. And then you need to have a closing also and signature. Okay, because this is an email. Usually, if an email we type the word, but if you're writing, you can sign the signature. So that is the format, okay, of your email. Okay, the 5 simple steps to write an email. First, you must begin with it should be 4. Sorry, okay, 4 simple steps. Begin with salutation. Then opening by greeting or thanking the recipient. Number 3 is the body with purpose and closing remarks, and with a closing and signature. So begin with salutation. It is an informal email. Usually we say hi or hello. very informal. Hi, Ellen. If it is a formal email, we will start with Dear Aaron. Okay, if your relationship with the reader is formal, use their family name. Okay, Dear Mr. Aaron. Okay, if you don't know the name of the person you're writing to, usually this is for a formal letter or formal email. So we will use to whom it may concern, or dear sir or madam. Okay, when we do know who is the recipient. Okay, then the second thing is we need to have an opening by greeting or thanking the recipient. So in informal email, we will say, how are you? I hope you are doing fine, or how are you doing? How do you do? Okay, very informal. Okay, but it is a formal email. We will say hello, hi, hello, or greetings. Okay, uh, and when we are replying to a friend's email, usually after we say a greeting, we say, okay, thank you for your email, or I'm glad to hear something. Okay, this is to continue after we greet the recipient. It is for a formal email. So we will, after our greeting, we say thank you for contacting ABC company. Okay, or something like this. Okay. After that, we need to write the body paragraph with the purpose and closing remarks. So we need to state the purpose, okay, that when we write the email, usually the purpose of the email is the task requirement. That is the task which is mentioned in the task. For example, in this email, okay, write a reply or at least 100 words. And the task is you need to answer these 4 points. Okay, the task you need to answer these 4 points. Okay, so that is the purpose of this email. Okay, the purpose of this email. So your purpose should be clear and specific, as it says here. Okay, make it clear and specific according to the points. That if there are 4 points given there, so you need to answer the 4 according to the 4 points. Okay, for example, one of the point asks, what are the activities you enjoy? So the 2 activities I enjoyed the most during the camp were what? Okay, that is the informal email. But if it is an formal email, usually we say I'm writing to inquire about what, or I'm writing in reference to what. Okay. Okay, so talking about the informal, or whether it is informal or formal, okay, you also need to see the point they want you to answer. It is asked for 1 activity, so you give 1 activity. It asks for 2 activities, then you must give 2 activities. Okay, for the question just now, I heard that, let us go back. I heard that there were lots of fun things to do at the camp. What was your favorite activity? Okay, so this is singular. So that means only 1 activity, not 2 activities. Okay, so that's why you need to read the question again. Okay, it asks you to describe. Okay, but it didn't ask you to describe 1 activity or 2 activities. But then we read the question, we know that it asks what was your favorite activity. Okay, so since it's only asked for 1 activity, it's not activities. Okay, so we can only describe 1 activity. Okay, describe 1 activity. So please make sure you read the content of the email carefully, and do answer it according to the task. Okay, so yeah, you need to answer according to the task. Okay, so here it only asks for actually 1 activity, not 2 activities, unless the question say what was your 2 favorite activities. Then you can describe 2 activities. Okay, but since the question is only asked for 1, so when you describe, you only describe 1 activity. Okay, so make sure you read the question or read the task very carefully. Okay, this is just an example I'm giving. Okay, it's not the answer. Okay, Then after we state about the purpose of the email, then we need to add closing remarks. So for informal email, we will say write soon or please write back soon. Formal email, we will write thank you for your patience and cooperation or thank you for your consideration. Okay. Keep your email as focused as you can. Sorry, one word is missing. Okay, so focus. Okay, be focused. That means just now which I mentioned, if it is one activity, so mention only one activity. Okay, if it asks for two activities, then we answer two activities. So be focused. Okay, be focused in your email. Okay, and this is the most important part. Usually this part is the most important part, because to award you higher marks, a higher score, they look at your body. Okay, the body is the one that will tell the examiner whether you understand the task or not. This part, of course, this will give you the marks, but it won't. There's not much effect. This part, the body part, is the most important one. Okay, so make sure. Okay, you write when you answer according to the task. But of course, this format also important. You must remember, for email, you must have the salutation, subject, salutation, opening, body, closing, signature. This is the format. Okay, of course, with the format, we must remember, follow the format. Okay, but the extra marks will be given to you will be here in the body, where it, because this is the part that you will write with elaboration, examples. You give examples. It will make your essay more to have a higher level. So this is the part that can show to the examiner. Okay, so you need to focus when you write the body paragraph. Okay. Next is the last part, that is the ending part. Okay, number 4. Okay, number 4, end with a closing and signature. So for closing, we'll say best wishes or cheers when we write to a friend. If we are writing a formal email, we'll use best regards, sincerely, or thank you. Okay, so and then you need to have signature also to write your name. Okay, you need to pay careful attention to grammar, spelling, and punctuation. That is the last part. Okay, after you have finished your email, okay, writing your email, so check again your grammar, your spelling, and punctuation. Make sure the language is good. Okay, then only you can submit your answer or send. Be confident. Okay, that you have write a good email. Okay, so that is for the first one on email. Okay, email writing. Actually, today I want to share with you a funny things that happened to me. Okay, funny things that happened to me when I writing a formal email to an editor. Okay, because usually I will do some review. Sometimes I receive some some journal editors will invite me to become a reviewer. So I will review their articles, and then after I review the articles, I will get a certificate. I'll ask, usually they give me a certificate or a letter or recognition, because after I have reviewed the article, okay, journal article. So when I send this email to this journal, okay, so this is my email to the editor. So I said, dear editor, here are my comments and suggestions for the review manuscript as well as the review form. Thank you. Okay, so because I have already default in my email, I have put this default is on the signature part. I have default this in my Google email. So this will automatically appear. I forgot that this is a foreign journal editor. So I forgot to change this to English. So I have this yang menjalankan amanah Dr. Yee Bee Choo. Okay, so yang menjalankan amanah is actually the closing, and then this is my name. Okay, the closing and then my name. Okay, so this editor, when he replied, okay, so I'm very happy when he replied my letter, my email. He said that, okay, dear Dr. Yee Bee Choo, thank you. Okay, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we will be pleased to provide you an official certificate, okay, for peer reviewing. So I'm very happy with this. Okay, but when another editor who is the one who issued the certificate, she mistakenly thought that my name is yang menjalankan amanah. Okay. So she answered, Dear Dr. Yang menjalankan amanah, thank you for your help and support to maintain a high peer review. Standard of this journal yang menjalankan amanah, we again thank you for your help. Okay. So she mistakenly thought my name is yang menjalankan amanah. Okay. So what happened is my certificate instead of sending awarded to Dr. Yee Bee Choo, it becomes yang menjalankan amanah. Okay, so actually just for a joke to share. Okay, so I actually put this as a closing. Okay, as the closing for my email, but then they mistakenly thought that this is my name. Okay, because in the way they write, they do not have closing. Okay, they do not have closing. They just straight away put their names. Okay, so sometimes different country, they have different way or different format in writing. Okay, so sometimes this is some miscommunication can happen. Okay, this is just for sharing. Okay, so now we come to the second part, extended writing. As I mentioned earlier, is an essay, discursive, argumentative, or problem solution of at least 250 words. And the responses may range from B1 to C1. Okay, so usually this essay will be the one that can help the examiner to know that if the candidate is up to the level of C1. Okay, so if we want to show that we are a C1 level, a proficient user, we have to be very good in our extended writing. Okay, so the duration 15 minutes. Okay, as mentioned earlier. Language function, we need to discuss ideas and evaluating arguments or solutions to problems, providing reasons, opinions, and justification, giving examples and supporting information. Okay, this is what is required. And these are the genre and register. Okay, I don't think I need to read. Okay, so let's look at the sample, the sample writing for extended writing. So in task 2, you are advised to spend about 15 minutes on this task. You extended a talk by a famous fashion designer, which was recently organized during your school's career week. The following comment was made by the guest speaker. Fashion defines a person's character. So write an essay expressing your opinion on the statement. Write at least 250 words. Okay, so it's quite similar to the old format, okay, of this extended writing. So you need to express your opinions, okay. So when it comes to express your opinions, you can you can agree, disagree, or both. Okay, you can give your reason for both, agree and disagree, okay, or either agree, either disagree. Okay, that is when we need to express our opinions. Okay, so this is the essay writing formula, which I always told the teachers and also my students to remember when they write, because an essay is a 5-paragraph essay. So in paragraph 1 is the introduction. Paragraph 2, 3, and 4 is the body paragraph. And paragraph 3 is the conclusion. Okay, so this usually an essay should be a 5-paragraph essay. If we have more points, we can write 6 paragraphs. But 5 paragraphs, I think, is okay, because this is about 250 words. Okay, so and we do not have a lot of time to write. 15 minutes actually is not a lot. Okay, so don't write too many, okay, because you have to write two essay. You're not writing one essay, you have to write two essay, the email and this extended writing. Okay, so 75 minutes, yeah, you are given 75 minutes, so you don't have much time to think actually when it comes to writing, so you have to write very fast. You have to brainstorm for ideas, and then you have to draft your ideas, then straight away you have to write. So remember, 5 paragraph is good enough for you. And when you write the introduction, you need to have the as situation. The first is situation. The second is the stand, and the third is the thesis statement. Okay, thesis statement. I'll go more in details later. And for the second and third and fourth paragraph, you need to have your main idea. Okay, main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3. The triple E is the elaboration, explanation, elaboration, and example. And last is the concluding sentence. For each paragraph, we need to have a concluding sentence. And then in the last paragraph, you need to have your thesis statement. You need to mention, you already mentioned it in the first paragraph, but in the last paragraph, you restate your thesis statement. Then you also repeat your stand. Okay, go back to the stand. Okay, you agree, disagree, or you both. Okay, you agree and disagree. You need to restate your stand. And then last, you may give a recommendation or suggestion. Okay, so this is the first paragraph of introduction. Okay, so in the situation, usually we'll give a current situation to introduce the topic. Provide definition only if you are sure. Okay, so for the question just now, it talked about fashion defines a person's character. So you need to give a situation, and the situation actually is given to you because the situation here is you attended a talk by a famous fashion designer which was recently organized during your school career week. So you can still talk about this, and you may introduce who is the guest speaker, okay, and from which company or from which place, and then you can give the topic that was given by the guest speaker. So your situation is actually given in the task or in the question. Okay, that is your situation. If you think you want to provide definition, let's say you want to talk about what is fashion, okay, you can talk about it. But if you are very sure of the definition, then you can give. But if not sure, better not. Okay, then you give your stand. Okay, whether you agree, disagree, or partially agree. Partially agree means you both agree and disagree. Okay, and then you give your thesis statement. This thesis statement will form the 3 main ideas in the body paragraphs. Okay, I will show you an example later. Okay, for the body paragraphs, as I give you the formula, the MEEC, the M is the main idea. So main idea from the thesis statement. Then you explain, okay, explain the main idea, elaborate the main idea, provide examples, and then give a concluding sentence to end the paragraph. Okay, so these are very important. The explanation, elaboration, and examples are very important. When the examiner mark the candidate's essay, they actually look for the elaboration example. Okay, they will make a point there. Okay, if the candidate give some elaboration or example, so they'll put a point there. Okay, with elaboration. So this is the part that will give you more marks or help you to get C1. Okay, to help you get C1. If you just have the main idea, is not enough. Okay, you have the main idea, but if you do not explain, elaborate, and give examples, then you will not have get a good score. Okay, so make sure for each point or each main idea you give, you must explain, elaborate, and provide the example, okay, to make it a very strong point or strong main idea. Okay, so these are the three elements that are very important in the essay. Okay, then the last paragraph is your conclusion. So you need to have repeat your thesis statement, repeat your stand, whether you agree, disagree, or partially agree. Then you might want to give a recommendation or suggestion. Okay, so that is the way of how you write your extended writing. Okay, you have the introduction. In the introduction, you have your situation, you have your stand, you have the thesis statement, and then in paragraph, in your body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, you have your main idea 1, main idea 2, and main idea 3. And you give the support by giving explanation, elaboration, and giving examples. And then you end the paragraph with a concluding sentence. Okay. And then in your conclusion, the last paragraph, you repeat your thesis statement, repeat your stand, and then you might want to give a recommendation or suggestion. So that is the essay, extended essay. Okay. So remember this. This is a formula. Okay. I feel that it can help the writer or candidate to be focused when we write. Okay. It can help us to focus when we write. Especially when it comes to thesis statement. Okay, we must know how to write thesis statement. But in today's talk, I do not have time to teach you how to write thesis statement. I'm just sharing with the tips on how to do well in your MUET exam. Okay, you need to attend academic writing in order to know how to write a good thesis statement, and this will help you to develop your body paragraph and write a good essay. Okay, so thesis statement is important. I last 2 years I did a few CPD course for the English language teachers. Some of them after my course, they took the test, CEFR readiness. Most of them. However, not many can score C1. Okay, very sad to tell. But one who scored it, she told me when she met me, she was very happy when she met me, because when I did the talk, I give online. Okay, I did it online. But one day I met her physically. She's very happy. She told me that because before this, when she writes, she don't know how to write thesis statement. But after she know how to write thesis statement, and because of that, she said she was able to write her essay using the thesis statement, and then she got her C1. So she's very happy with it, and I'm also very happy for her. Okay, at least something I share did help the teachers, okay, to know how to do their writing and also do well in the test. Okay, so I have mentioned about the three components: introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion. Okay, so now the example. Okay, let's look at this example. Let's say we have a topic: stress among university students. So the thesis statement, we need to remember it must contain the 3 points. Okay, the 3 points. So university students are stressful, because we are talking about stress. Okay, so university students are stressful as they experience changes in lifestyle. Okay, changes in lifestyle is the first point. Increased workload, the second point, and interpersonal relationship, that is the third point. So these points in the thesis statement will become your body paragraphs. Okay, it will become the main ideas in the next 3 body paragraphs. So for example, the main idea 1 for the first body paragraph: university students are stressful as they experience changes in lifestyle. That is your first main idea. And then you continue writing by adding the explanation, elaboration, example, and then concluding sentence. Okay, and then number 2, they have increased workload when they are in university. Okay, so second point, second main idea. And then another paragraph, you will talk about the interpersonal relationship. Okay, so these three main ideas are actually from your thesis statement. So make sure when you write, you have a clear thesis statement. Okay, and this thesis statement will help you to write in the following paragraphs. And also remember, when you write the following paragraphs, please use the linkers or the sequence connectors, like firstly, secondly, lastly, okay, to give the link, okay, from to make a link or make your essay more coherent from one paragraph to another paragraph. Okay, so make sure you use the linkers or cohesive devices. Okay, so this is one for one paragraph. Okay, for one paragraph. So as mentioned earlier, the thesis statement: university students are stressful as they experience changes in lifestyle, increased workload, and interpersonal relationship. So the first main idea: university students are stressful as they experience changes in lifestyle. The explanation, or it can be a reason, this is due to the fact that they need to be independent as they have to do everything by themselves. And elaboration, they are used to rely on their parents for everything before they enroll at the university. Then example, now they have to wash their clothes, cook their food without parents' help. Then the concluding sentence: therefore the change of lifestyle will make them feel stressful. This is just a very simple example. Of course, when you write, you may use some give more examples, okay, or some elaboration to make your paragraph a good paragraph, okay, to give more details, okay, to support your paragraph, to support your main idea. Okay, so for one main idea, you can write some points, okay, to support it. Okay, and also you can give other examples. Not necessarily, this is just a simple example. I want to show you how you can write using this formula. That's the main idea: elaboration, explanation, elaboration, example, and concluding sentence. Okay, so tips to ace your writing. Okay, now we are almost at the end. Okay, how to we write a good essay? Show correct response to the task. Okay, just now we have two, for writing, we have two, we need to write two. One is an email, one is as an extended writing. So when we, let's say when we answer the email, we have to be sure if the of the task, okay, and also the recipient and the receiver. Okay, since the task, the email just now, okay, the names are already given, so we must use the name. We shouldn't change the name. Okay, if the name is to Alex, then is to Alex. We shouldn't change it to other friend's name. Okay, then we are not answer according to the task. Also, and it is talking about the language camp activities in the language camp. We then we would not give activities in the drama competition or activity in other place. Okay, so make sure the task, we give a correct response to the task. And for the second essay, that is the extended essay, we need to state the stand. Okay, if it asks us to give opinions, we need to tell whether we agree, disagree, or both. Okay, so we need to state the stand and then present our viewpoints. And of course, for both essay, we need to use accurate language, use wide variety of sentence structures, use appropriate and varied vocabulary, use cohesive devices to link ideas effectively, and organize the ideas logically and effectively. So these are the important things we need to take note when we write the essay. Okay. Here I would like to share, okay, how if for school teachers, okay, when we are teaching students, when we ask students to write the essay, some teacher, they really make the effort to correct the students' essay. So we call this corrective feedback. Okay, corrective feedback means we mark and we correct the essay. Okay, some people say that when I read some journal articles, some say that it's good, some say that it's not good. Okay, but based on my experience, I feel that it is good. Okay, because for this the one group of students whom I taught in the year 2017, I used corrective feedback to correct their essay. Okay, this is what I did. Okay, to the student essay. This is an excellent student. I didn't show you a weak student. Actually, there are a lot of red pen marks. Okay, so I can see the improvement. Okay, when I did the corrective feedback with the student by correcting their essay, of course, firstly we see a lot. First time, second time we see a lot error. But once they do, I ask them to do correction. Yes, after I correct, I ask them to do correction. Okay, I say that I spend time in correcting your essay. You must do correction. If not, why I should spend my time correcting your essay? So I force them to do correction and then send me back their corrected essay. Okay, so by as time goes by, I can see that their essay become better and better, and there are less errors. Okay, there are less errors. Of course, to do corrective feedback, it takes a lot of our time. It takes a lot of teachers' time. Okay, for this particular group of students, that time, because I do not have many students, so I really spend a lot of time with them. So I really took the time to mark their essay, and in that year, most of them score band 5 and above. Okay, but I know that from now on, I may not have the time to do this again. So what I'm suggesting to all teachers who are teaching language skills, you may not have the time to mark your student essay, or even for teacher training, IBG TESOL student, your lecturer might not mark your essay. So what you can do, you do your own self-assessment writing. Okay, we have actually this AI tool, writeandimprove.com. Okay, write and improve. You can go to this website. Okay, we call this AI tool. Okay, why it is AI? Because it will mark your essay, and it is free. Okay, improve your writing fast is free, and then you can get your grade in seconds. It will tell you what is your CEFR level. The wonderful thing is it will tell you your CEFR level, and you can look at the feedback and make changes and keep improving. Okay, so how you can do it? Actually, there are some tasks given in this tool, in this website, for beginner level. There are a few advanced level, beginner level. Okay, so you can just choose to do the task in that website. Okay, let's say this one is an essay about sleep. Okay, then it says that write at least 2 paragraphs. Okay, so you just write 2 paragraphs. Okay, and then you type here. Okay, you type here. So after you type, you submit. It will straight away show you the level. Okay, like this one is a B1 level. Okay, B1 level. And it say, oh, your writing level is B1. Okay, and then it highlight the sentence that you need to improve. Okay, there will be some feedback given at the bottom. I didn't screenshot. Okay, so that is how we can do self-assessment. Okay, because your lecturers might not have the time to mark your essay, and we lecturers also do not have time to mark our student essay. So we can let our students do their own self-assessment writing. Okay, we give them the task in this website, and then let them do the task in the website, and let this website help us to train our students in their writing. Okay, the student can actually know their level, their CEFR level straight away. Okay, so instead of like what I did in the past, correcting my student essay, okay, I mark their essay, spend so much time. we use the website to help us. Okay, of course, there are some pros and cons. The pros is that it can ease our work. The pros is it can ease our work, but the cons is the task may not be what we want them to do. But at least our student got to practice their writing. Okay, and when you practice your writing, you can improve yourself. Okay, yeah, it's good. Okay, this is good. And I also, for my current student, I also ask them, I also give some tasks from this website and ask them to do the task. Then I'll ask them to screenshot this part and show me their CEFR level. Okay, and I can see that their level has improved. Okay, from B1, some even got A2. Okay, even though IBG student A2, then they improve to B1, B2, and C1. Okay, so that is one way. This is one way we can do to help ourselves and our students. Okay, so can use this website. Okay, Write and Improve by Cambridge English. Okay, so I think that's all. This is the reference I've used for this talk today. Okay, so my conclusion is practice makes perfect. Okay, practice makes perfect. We want to get A's, but it doesn't mean the first shot will be the A's. Sometimes we didn't get the target. Okay, we will not get the target. So that's why we need to do a lot of practice. Okay, practice in listening, practice in speaking, practice in reading, and practice in writing. We need to do a lot of practice until at the end, and we can get the A's or the target. Okay, our target. So that is how we can improve our English language skills. Okay, so I think that's all from me. If there's any question, you may want to email to me. Okay, thank you very much. Now back to Dr. Zurin, the moderator.
Wow, Dr. Yee, your sharing is really insightful. Let's move on to the Q&A question. If there's any question that you would like to ask Dr. Yee, you can ask now. Let's wait a bit. Okay, I think looks like okay. There's a question there, Dr. Yee. Let me read it for you. From Miss Go. She says that for extended writing, if my stand is agree or disagree, is that better than partially agree?
Not necessary. As long as I said, each point that you give, you must support with the elaboration and the examples. So let's say if you agree, so all the points, 3 points must agree. If you disagree, all the 3 points are disagree, and then you give elaboration and example. If you partially agree, so maybe first 2 points you agree, so the first 2 points you agree, so make sure your elaboration and examples agree. And the next point, when you disagree, so your elaboration and example disagree. So as long as your elaboration and your example support your main ideas, so anyway is good. Okay, whether you want to agree, disagree, or partially agree, anyway is good as long as you have the elaboration and example and explanation to support your main ideas. Okay.
Okay, I think that should answer the question. Is there any other question that anyone would like to ask Dr. Yee? Thank you also, Miss Go, for the question. Okay. All right. If you happen to have questions for Dr. Yee, later on you can email her with the email that she has posted just now. And okay, on behalf of the organizer, Dr. Yee, I would like to thank you for this very fruitful webinar. Any last words, Dr. Yee, besides the one that you say practice makes perfect?
Yeah, practice make perfect. So if we are going to sit for the test, okay, for we the lecturer or the IBG teacher trainee, make sure we do a lot of practice to before we sit for the test. That is one way we can improve ourselves. Okay, I forgot to share one point from my student. Okay, actually now our IBG student, especially tester, they must get a C1. So I actually carry out a survey among my current PPI SMP student, asking how many of them had already sit for MUET. They are not required yet, but I'm just asking. We had 114 students in our my IPG. Only one of them who got band 5. So I asked her, how do you get your band 5? Actually, they are not asked to sit for the test yet. So in my survey, only about less than 20 of them sit for the MUET test. Okay, but there is only one student who got band 5. So I asked her, how do you get your band 5? So she said she didn't get much. She didn't go for tuition. She didn't go. Her the time she was a UITM student. Okay, and it was a requirement for UITM student to sit for MUET. So they also do not provide a MUET class for them. But then what she did is she watched the YouTube tutorial. Okay, YouTube tutorial or something from internet. Okay, about MUET. That is how she know the format, about the format for MUET, and how to write and how to score well. So she learned everything from YouTube. Okay, so my advice is for those who are not familiarized with the format, so go to the YouTube. Okay, go to YouTube. And since now our MUET is in the new format, so don't look at the old YouTube. If the YouTube is published before 2021, so don't look at those YouTube, but look for the latest YouTube tutorials, so that you can learn about the new format, how to answer well for the MUET. Okay, so that is another way to improve ourselves in the MUET exam. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yee. Now I know what to do if I need to take the test. Okay, I will post the QR code for the links for attendance now. Okay. Okay, this is the link for attendance for this MUET webinar 2022. Is your MUET guide and tips? Thank you again, Dr. Yee. Okay, everyone, don't forget to watch the premiere on YouTube tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yeah. So see you and all the best. Okay, thank you.
Thank you to all the participants who are with us today. Bye.
Bye, Dr. Yee.
Bye.